Notice here that gap that we saw earlier gets filled with this next shapeshift, and you'll see that the tooth forms in that gap. And you see a ghosting image of it at first, and you see it's a little bit lower than the rest of the teeth right there. It's like it just appears there. Question is why? What are we looking at? And you notice also how those teeth there, that one on the far right, it's like divided into two parts, and the parts kind of come together. Alright, now here's another interesting shapeshift with the hands, and you'll notice right away strange lumps and bulbs in the center sections of his fingers, and you'll also notice that the ends of the pinky really look weird, and look at that strange shape to his fingertips and the way the center portion appears bulbed out like that. It's almost like they're crooked. It's weird looking. And then look at this shot here. You see they turn into normal hands, and then it's like they turn into these little bulbed shapes with a little claw sticking out. And here is the stripped flesh, or maybe it's the reptoid claw coming out on the end, and then the flesh becomes bulbous. And also there's this weird little, almost like a twig flower shadow there. You see, look, it looks like his pointing finger there. It's almost like it's stripped of all of its flesh, and it's just like this strange twig. And it's hard to tell exactly what we're looking at, but it is definitely weird. You see that doesn't make sense when you see that right there as it being motion or a camera blur or a camera anomaly of some kind. See, these are definite shapes. You see how his middle knuckle there has that bulbous shape, and then the end is like these little tiny weird looking twigs. And then you see that sharp point on the end of his pinky. See that little sharp point? It's really weird. And the fingers are shorter. I noticed the same thing with Harrison Ford. They shrink frame by frame, almost as though maybe it shrinks down and then it comes out more. And then here, look at these fangs on Obama's mouth. I mean, look at that. It looks like a straight up vampire. I mean, look at that. I mean, and you see that moment where his teeth look like that is rare, and you can see that the teeth actually changing shape. This isn't a blur problem or an in-between frame problem. I mean, you can see the shape of the teeth. Go back and forth, and you can see that they retract and change on a momentary basis.